Oregon. My name is Ibuka Dustin Anyasie. Some of you know me as Truce, and I'm a creative director, artist, UX writer, copywriter. And I'm here to talk about the creative direction for the album Oxlade From Africa. Stay with me. So Oxlade From Africa is the debut album by Oxlade, the Afrobeats artist. The first time I heard about this project was from my friend and colleague Gracie May. About June 2024, I get another call from Gracie. She's like, yeah, Ox and the team would love to meet with you and hear some of your ideas for the album. So what I did was I went on Oxlade's YouTube and his Instagram, and I noticed something very interesting. I realized that Oxlade is a sci-fi head. A lot of his music videos are compositions that are influenced by movies like The Matrix, Star Wars, Tron Legacy, Dune, etc, etc. That's why you have stuff like moons in the air in the afternoon, you know, people dressed in all black, vortex type shots. And then he hit me. This guy is in his own universe and nobody seems to notice. So I looked through some of his records and I was like, this album is about his origin in the African continent, but what if we also made it about his universe and how he's creating a reality, an alternate reality that exists outside of, but in Africa still. We call this universe the Oxyverse, which is basically where the oxygens are from, you know, because we always had the oxygens, right? And so I said, yo, let's make this very interesting. I listened to the album and I realized that there are 4 specific emotions that I came in contact with from the music that was created for the album. And I took these 4 emotions and I decided to make them the dimensions of our universe. And these dimensions are joy, pain, love, and hustle. These became the 4 dimensions of the Oxyverse. Mashing up all these different ideas together, I came up with, or rather all these different things or elements together, I came up with the big idea, which was simple. The big idea was to portray Oxlade as this ethereal being, this chosen one of one, this godlike figure that exists in the Oxyverse, but is also revered in his home continent, Africa. And now the story is simple. He takes his music to the rest of the world, spreading his sound. And that was the big idea for the album. Oxlade loved it, and he said, at this point we had done quite a number of things. We had named the universe, it was going to be called the Oxyverse, and now we needed to figure out what the universe was going to look like. If we're going to create something that is inspired by sci-fi blockbusters, then definitely we were leaning more towards the Afrofuturistic look, because the future is Africa, so why not? As for colors, I discovered that Oxlade loves earth tones, so we developed 12 shades of earth tones, and we split those 12 shades into 4 for each of the 4 dimensions. So each dimension had 3 colors, 2 primary shades and 1 tertiary shade. Now these colors make up the different compositions that you see in his universe, on the clothes he wears, on his Instagram feed, in his music videos, on his layouts. The plan for this is simple. Down the line, with every album he releases, he will focus on 1 dimension and spread those 3 colors out. The first album being Oxlade From Africa. I'd always wanted to create a universe that had its own written text, similar to how we have in CBD, similar to how we have the text in Star Wars, you know, all that cool shit. So I developed something called Oxytone. Oxytone is our coded and encrypted text. You will see it on some of the communication material. On the music video for Ifa, there was some Oxytone in there. On the tour flyers, there's some Oxytone in there. Here and there, if you look closely, you will see it. And then we also had to develop English text fonts. We discovered Oxlade's official typographical font, which is the font that was used to create his lock logo for his name, Oxlade. That font is called Devil's Breeze, and his secondary font text is called Strasser. We put all that together and we had our basic building blocks for the brand. Having developed our dimensions of the universe, our different dimensions of the universe, we put together a photography treatment that sort of like shows you what photographs from this universe are supposed to look like. So we had the love dimension, which focused on intimacy. We had the hustle dimension, which focused on camaraderie. We had the pain dimension, which was very introspective, and the joy dimension, which showed you the beauty of the great outdoors. Once we're done developing all of this, we put together the flyers for the tour, the billboards. I don't know if we just cast everything like this. I don't know if we just cast everything. I'm having so much fun making this video. We came up with some passport origin cards. These are basically identity cards from the Oxyverse that we use to identify the featured artists. We also developed these interesting story cards which help to fill in the gaps with the story for the album rollout. The plan is to eventually develop these story cards into a comic book that's coming soon, and a bunch of other cool shit that we've been working on at the Lucid Company for Tronic Music. Vibes. But as for now, enjoy the album, enjoy the rollout and everything that you've seen so far. Keep it sexy, keep it sweet, I hope this shit recorded.